Hey guys, thanks for joining me. Today I am going to do an Easter painting. This is going to be a beginner's tutorial in the beginning, and then it's going to turn into an advanced tutorial after the beginning stage is over. If you have kids that want to do the first step, that's totally awesome. If you are somebody who has a little bit of experience with painting, you can continue on after that, and we're going to do lots of details and finish it how I would normally finish it. Okay, so here's the list of supplies you'll need for today. I'm going to be using an 8x8 canvas, but you're welcome to use any size that you want. Probably just keep it square so that our proportions are the same. You can use watercolor paper or just regular paper if you have it at home and you don't want to go to the store. We're going to need a palette, several brushes. You want to try to get different sizes. What I do is I get a couple of flat brushes, large, medium, and kind of a smaller one. And then two smallish detail brushes. You're gonna need all of those. A towel or some paper towels, and then acrylic paints. So every color of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and then black, white, and brown. Let's get going.
You might need a pencil. If you have any questions, just comment.
Sometimes you need to go.
So whether you're a beginner or you're gonna finish the whole painting with me and do it super detailed, we're both gonna start right now. I'm gonna tell the beginners when to stop, and then the advanced people are gonna continue on. So everybody start right now with me. So we're gonna grab our palette and one of our medium flat brushes, and we're gonna go ahead and start blocking in some of these colors. First, let's do this really nice pastel green color. So we're gonna take a little bit of our forest green or whatever color green you have, maybe add a little bit of yellow to it, and then quite a bit of white, because you want it to be really nice pastel-y Easter color. And if you like that color, if you're happy with it, you can continue. I'm gonna add a little bit of blue, just a tiny bit. See how much I got there? Barely any. And a little bit more white, because I want it to be more pastel. I think I like that. All right, and I'm gonna grab a little bit of water, spread it out easier, and we're gonna go ahead and just start painting around the top of the fence up here. And feel free to pause the video anytime you want if you need to catch up or look at what I did. So once you have it looking like this, we're gonna do the fence next. And the fence is gonna be a white picket fence, but we're actually gonna start with gray. So what you're gonna do is just grab some some black, and then a little bit of brown as well. So like 50% black, 50% brown. And then we're gonna add a little bit of white to it. So it's got a little bit of a lighter, dark brownish gray color. And that is gonna be the whole fence right now. All right, so once you have that painted in, we're gonna go ahead and start down here where the grass is showing, only this little area here, and don't do the tulips, the stems of the tulips. We're gonna leave those alone. So what we're gonna do is grab a little bit of your dark green and mix it with a little bit of blue, a little bit more green than that. And then we're gonna grab just a little bit of black, not very much. Kind of make it a darker green color. You still want to be able to see the green. If you can't see the green, you've used too much black. And this is the color it should look like. It should be a really dark, kind of a bluish green. Oops, that's the bunny. Don't do that. Okay, so now let's do the bucket. So we're gonna take the same brush, the medium flat brush, or whichever one you're comfortable with using. You can use smaller or bigger, whichever you want. And for the bucket, okay, so let's start on the bucket. We're gonna make this bucket color. It's gonna be a little bit of a darker gray than the fence. So we're just gonna use some black, a little bit of white, and some brown. So I'll show you that better. Black, white, and brown. But you want it to be pretty dark, so use quite a bit of black and brown. Not too much white, until you kind of get this color, and I'll show you. So it's a little bit lighter than black. That's black. And then this is kind of like a grayish, muddy, charcoal gray color. We're gonna do the whole bucket in this color. Now let's start on the little flowers we have. These are gonna be like pink and yellow tulips because that's really Eastery. So what we're gonna do first is grab some red and then a little bit of yellow and a little bit of white. Mix it all together. That should give you kind of like a pink color. You can mess around with it and you can add more white if you like, or a little bit of blue, kind of give you a purpley fuchsia color. Just try not to add any dark colors, no greens. Stay away from orange and stay away from brown, purple, because those will make it look brown. So let's start over here and do one of these tulips. We're just gonna do this like petal on this side first, in one solid color. Okay, and then we're gonna add a little bit more red to it, just a little, and we're gonna do the bottom petal. Then we're gonna add a little bit of blue, which is awesome. Maybe a little bit more red, because you want kind of a darker red color, like that. And we're gonna do this little piece that's peeking out here. And if you wanna use a smaller brush for that, you can. I'm gonna switch to this little smaller flat brush. See how that looks? Then, so let's do the stem really quick. So you're gonna grab some green and black, not very much black, just a little bit. Maybe a little bit of red. It's gonna be this dark green color. gonna do that up here towards the top. And I know it kind of looks the same as the ground, but it'll be okay. And then for the rest of the stem, you're gonna do a little bit of a lighter green. So you're gonna add some green and then a little bit of white and a little bit of yellow, and it'll give it like a lime green color, or if you already have lime green, you can just use that. But you want this like lighter green color for it. And you're just gonna fill in the rest of the stem with that. And what that does is it just kind of gives it a look like there's a shadow right here where the petals would be near the top of the stem. And something you can do that's really cool is you can take a little bit of a lighter color like white and green mixed together, but something that's not too much lighter, and one of your smaller brushes, one of your smaller brushes like this, and turn it sideways, and you can just line the whole top of the stem with it. You can do that all the way up to the top, like that. And that kind of gives it like, it looks like it's curving. And if you want to make it even more look like it's curving, you can take that darker color and do it along the bottom, all the way up. And this is just very subtle. It's not going to be really bright or colorful, but see how now it looks like it's kind of 3D? That's what you're going for. And take your time with that. It's really hard to do straight lines with a small brush like that.
I'm just sitting here.
All right, so let's do the other stem first, since we just did that and it's fresh in our memory. So let's start again with the lighter green color. Do the whole stem.
The world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful.
Once you get up towards the top, switch to your darker green color and fill that part in with it. And you can take your brush and like wipe it off, wipe the paint off of it, and then kind of just blend those two colors together. And all I'm doing is just going like this between the two colors, and it helps blend it just very slightly. And then we're gonna do the same thing on this one with the light and the dark shadow. So I'm doing the light green on top right now.
to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell.
Okay, and then we'll do a little bit of the darker green on the bottom. And when I say top and bottom, what I'm referring to is like where the top of the round part would be, and then the bottom would be like the one that's facing the ground. So that's how I figure out which direction the light would be hitting it on. Okay. So, depending on if you want this tulip to be yellow or pink like this one, what you can do is follow the same basic layout. So you're going to do the lighter color here, kind of a medium color here, and a darker color here. Actually, there's no darker color on this one because we're looking at the back of it. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one yellow just because I want it to be different, and I'll show you how to do that, or you can do it pink, whichever you want. So I'm going to grab some yellow. I'm running out of room on my palette. And I'm going to grab some white so it's not so bright yellow. And I'm going to do this one first. All right, and then this one's next. And to darken it up, all I'm going to do is add just a little bit of brown. Still want it to look yellow, you don't want it to look brown. but it'll just make it look like it's in the shadow a little bit more. Accidentally pulled in some of that black from the pail into it, so I'm just going to fix that really fast. And if you keep having problems with pulling colors into other stuff, you can use a hairdryer and just dry your painting before you continue on to the next section. Especially if you're younger or a kid or just beginning, it's a lot easier to do it that way. Okay. So now we're gonna add a little bit of dimension to both of these flowers. And all we're gonna do is just add a little bit of a darker color along the bottom of the petals right here on both of them. So let's start over here with the pink one since it's kind of dry already. We're gonna take this red color we used for the petals and add a little bit of purple to it, but not a ton, just a little bit. Again, you still want it to look red, but you don't want it to look too bright red. So this color right here, and you're just gonna go along the bottom. Actually, that's not dark enough, so I'm gonna add a little bit more. Go along the bottom right here and just go follow the edge of the petal. Like that. And we're going to do the same thing along the bottom of it. And that'll kind of give it a look like it's round and like it's getting hit by some sunlight coming this way. So we're gonna do the same on top, except we're gonna do light colors instead of dark colors. So take some white and add it into this red. Maybe add just a little touch of yellow, not very much. Start down there. And if your paint is still wet, it might take a couple times for it to show up. But yeah, basically you just want something like that. And then we're going to use just plain white on the very top right here. Like that. All right, and then so on the inside petal, you're going to take a little bit of purple and red and make kind of a really dark color. Maybe even add in just a little bit of black. And do the very center right here. And that's just gonna make it look like it's like going down deep into the petals. So you want the edge of this petal to be a little bit lighter and then down here in the corner to be dark. That's what we're shooting for. All right, so let's finish the yellow one up really quick. So we're gonna get this dark color that we used on the bottom petal and add just a little bit more black to it and a little bit of brown. And I'm gonna grab some water so it spreads easier. You're gonna follow the edge of the, oop, that's too dark. Follow the edge of the petal up. That. Do the same thing along the bottom. that looks pretty good. And then we're gonna do the same thing with a little bit of a lighter yellow, so just white and yellow. White and yellow. You want it to be pretty white, so we're only got a little bit of yellow into that. And I added some water to make it spread. And follow the edge of it all the way up. You don't want it to be very bright, you just want it to be a little bit of a difference because it'll help look like the sun is hitting it. Okay, I think that looks really good. I'm gonna go ahead and add in some green that I missed right here though, from the ground. So this is the ground color green, that dark green. Okay, I think we're ready to do, there's a leaf here and then these are some eggs and some grass in there, so we can go ahead and start on that. So I'm gonna use that same, it's kind of a small flat brush. It's hard to see, but it's not very big. It's like a 1/4 of an inch thick. And we're gonna do, this is a leaf right here sticking out. And we're gonna get some light green and mix it with some dark green. And a little bit of red, and that kind of gives it like a brownish green tint, which looks a lot more natural than the bright green does. And just fill that in. One color for right now. Green seems to be really transparent, so we're gonna have to go over that again once it's dry. So we'll leave that alone right now and let it dry. Let's go ahead and do this grass here. This is gonna be really dark green because the bucket's deep, so you want it to look like it's going down quite a bit, and we're gonna add some lighter grass colors to it later to make it look like 3D. So this is just my dark green and a little bit of blue and a little bit of black mixed together. So that's the color we're using. You wanna just go ahead and go around the eggs, and the grass is gonna be coming up over it a little bit like this, so, because it's in front of it. So go ahead and do that and go around the bottoms of it. Okay, so something like that. Now we get to do the eggs. So we're just gonna do a solid color on these for right now. You can pick whatever colors you like, it doesn't matter, but just try to make them Eastery, pastel-y. So to get a pastel color, you basically just mix it with white. So I'm gonna do one that's like, let's do yellow and white. Got a little bit of green in there, but that's okay. Just fill them on in. Okay, and then the next one I'm gonna make it, let's see, I think I'll do blue. So I have this dark blue color here, so I'm just gonna mix it with a whole bunch of white to make it a pastel blue. And these are just gonna be the base colors. We're gonna add like some designs to them later on and some depth. And if you're following along and you're gonna do the advanced portion, we're gonna do even more stuff. But for now, this is good. All right, and then this one I think I'll do like a pink. I think that'll be really cute. So just red and white. Kind of matches the tulips a little bit. All right, we've got our 3 eggs painted. Now let's start on the bunny and the chicks. And then we'll go back and add some detail to all this stuff for the beginners. So I'm gonna switch to my medium flat brush, which is this guy right here. And let's start with these chickies. So it's kind of like a grayish yellow brown. All right, so we're gonna start with the chicks, and basically it's just yellow and a little bit of brown and just a tiny bit of black and white. And you're gonna get like this kind of like muddy, weird grayish yellow color. Kind of a brown tint in there. You don't want it to be super, super dark, but the lighter colors are gonna go on top of it, so we need it to be a little dark. So something like that, and just go ahead and fill in the entire chick with that color.
We can sit together. It's so beautiful. You and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors forever.
So this chick is like standing on the bunny's ear, and that's gonna be his little foot there. He's kind of resting his head on the bunny's snout. It's gonna be really cute. Right. So, and then they have little like lighter spots on their cheeks. So we're gonna mix a little bit of white into that color and just do his little cheek. Chick cheek. Just like that. And then fill in his eye with just pure black for now. Okay. We're gonna do his little beak. You're gonna do the beak and the feet are gonna be the same color. And all that is some orange and a little bit of red mixed together with a little bit of brown. So you're gonna get this kind of like orangish, rusty brown color. I'm gonna do the beak first. Just a little triangle. And then the little foot. And the whole foot isn't showing, it's just a little, like one of his claws or whatever it would be called. Talon, I don't know, what are they called? I'm actually gonna put one more over right there. So that looks awesome. Okay, so since you have this color on your paintbrush already, let's go ahead and do the other chick's beak and foot. I didn't want it to look like it was poking his eyeball, so I think I'll just put one more little toe maybe right there. There we go. And then fill in his eye with black. Okay, and then we'll do his body the same color as we did the other one. Okay, and since this one's wing is showing, what we're gonna do is just take a little bit of black and add it to that brown color. It won't be too much darker, just a little bit. And just kind of outline it so you don't lose the shape of the wing. Like that. And then we're gonna continue on with the same brown color and keep going. If you need to make more of that color, it's just yellow, brown, black, and white. Just a little touch of each one. Little chicks are so cute. Fluffer. The chicks are done for now. Actually, let's add the little white spot on his cheek, sorry. So just take a little bit of white and add it to the brown. And we're gonna do, they have like very pronounced cheeks. It's really cute. So just add a little bit of white like that. Let's do the bunny now. So we're gonna start on his ear. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it dark and then going up to like a lighter color. So we're gonna take some black, white, and brown. I'm gonna kind of get this brownish gray color again, the same one we used on the fence. Just do the bottom corner of his ear down here. Like this. Up to about right there. And then we're gonna add a little bit of white to that color and finish the ear with it. And what you want to do right here where the two colors meet is wipe your brush off on your towel and then just again go back and forth over them. And all I'm doing is just going like that really lightly, and it blends the colors together. So that's good enough for now. We're gonna go over it and do some fur and stuff. So. All right, so I'm gonna do the inside of his ear right here with a little bit of white and pink. A little bit of brown. You want it to be like a really, really light pink with some brown in it. And just do the whole thing in that color. We're gonna use that same color, add a little bit more brown to it, and a little bit more red as well. I'm gonna do over here. This is the other inside of the ear, but it's behind his body, so it's gonna have a little bit more shadow in it, so it's gonna be a little bit darker. Like that. Perfect. Now we're gonna do this other ear. So go ahead and get this, it's brown, white, and black mixed together. And we're gonna do this side of his ear. Careful not to get the chick's foot. We're gonna do that color most of the way up. About right there. I'm going to add in some white to that color and finish it off. Okay, once it's like that, then you just wipe your brush off again, use the same one, and again you just blend the two colors together really lightly. All you have to do is wipe it off on your towel and then go over the colors like this, a little bit back and forth. and it kind of blends the two colors together. All right, so let's start on the body. So we're gonna take that darkest color again. This is brown, black, and white mixed together. And if you want it to spread a little bit easier, you can add some water. And we're gonna start down here. This is like the side of his leg, and then this is like his chest. So we're gonna do his leg first. We're just gonna do this portion so that we don't lose our lines here. So I'm gonna do over here, but leave a little bit of white there. Just like that, just a little strip of white. I'm going to add in just a little bit of white to that same color and bring it up alongside his ear over here. This is his back. Up to about right there. And take your brush and you can blend those two colors together. Now this part right here, we're going to do that same lighter color that you were just using on its back. Let's go ahead and start filling this in with it. Once you've got that filled in, we're gonna add even more white to it and do the start of his little chin over here. So I'm actually gonna darken it up just a touch. So you don't want these colors to be super different from each other. They're just gonna be a little bit lighter as you go up. Just so you can kind of tell the parts of the body from each other. Now for the snout, we are gonna do a little bit lighter of a color, so add even more white to it. And just go ahead and fill that in with all that color. So I'm gonna put that brush away and I'm gonna get my little bit of a smaller flat brush. You can use whichever one you're comfortable with, but this is the one I want to use for now. And you're gonna get a little bit of black and mix it with some red, wherever you have space. You're gonna get this kind of dark red color, and that's gonna be his nose. His nose is just basically a V, kind of thinner up at the top, and it gets fatter down here towards the bottom. Like that. And then we're gonna get some black and mix it with brown. And add just a little bit of white to it so it's not so severe. So it's pretty dark, but not super dark. Just do a little line right here. Like that. And then take your smaller brush, or your smallest brush, your detail brush, and get that same color on it, the dark brown. And we're gonna add this little smiley face. Like that. And outline his teeth. Same color. Do a line up the middle. And a tip for this is when you're doing lines on something, if you barely touch the edge of the brush to it, you'll get a really thin, nice line. But if you push down on your brush the whole way, you're gonna get a thick line. So depending on what you're trying to do, make sure you're really light with your brush. You just barely want to touch it to your canvas. All right, so next let's fill in the eyes. Or I guess he just has one eye, but so you're gonna do this middle portion here in pure black. You're still using your detail brush. And we're also gonna outline it in the same color. So let's just go around the edge. That. And like that. And one line up like this. All right. So let's see. So we're gonna make his eyes like a brown, dark brown. So you're gonna get some brown and add just a little bit of black to it, not very much. And just fill in the rest of his eye with that. So, and then we're gonna grab a little bit of the gray. It's just a little bit of white and black mixed together, and just fill in his teeth so they're not so bright white as the canvas. So just like that. Okay, so at this point, if you are gonna do the advanced tutorial, you need to stop. Don't do any more. And if you're gonna continue on with me and finish it up in the beginner stage, go ahead and keep watching, and I'm gonna add a little bit of detail that's simple and will make a great Easter present for your parents or your friends or whoever you wanna give it to.